Hello guys, welcome to my February collection update video, so where I will show off all the items that I got in February. Forewarning, it is all CDs again this month because that's mainly what I'm collecting, but I hope that some other stuff will enter the fold eventually. Mainly when the new figures come out, or Season 9 box set, or anything other than CDs, really. Anyway, to start off with, we have Red Dawn. This is entry number 8 from the main range, so obviously, once again in my usual rule of the first 50. And obviously an early one because it's the first 10. The reason I went for this one is because it was the mostly random choice, but at the same time, I feel the Ice Warriors are a criminally underused monster, really, given that following Curse of Peladon, we no longer had any idea were they the good guys, were they the bad guys this month, and I feel like that's probably one of the more interesting aspects, especially as at this point I don't know a single thing about this story, and I will be honest, I need to listen to it. The first disc is currently in my Walkman. So yeah, I want to see how the Ice Warriors act opposite 5, because they were only opposite 2 and 3 in the classic series. And in the new series, yeah, they've been opposite 11 and 12. But I want to see how the classic writing approach handles opposite 5. So yeah. Funny enough, up next is number 9, The Spectre of Lanyon Moor. I think this one should be obvious as to why I got it. As I mentioned previously, the early idea of Big Finish was they wanted to do a story with 6 and Brig and 8 and Brig. If they could get 8, they didn't know if they could at the time. But I only really found out that they had to have a separate license to use 8. But anyway, so obviously I haven't listened to this one. I'm not going to even read the back. Another issue I have, this is the same thing I pointed out with Minute in Hell, is that they only credit Colin Baker and Nicholas Courtney, as Minute in Hell only credited Paul and Nicholas. When what's the character's name? Oh, the actor's name, Maggie Stables. She should be credited as well. Really, you can fit 3 names on here, as they did with Winter for the Adept. But yeah, I'm obviously quite excited and looking forward to listening to this story, mainly as I want to see how Big Finish handles 6 and the Brigadier, given that they were in Dimensions in Time, but to quote, talking about my regeneration, that was a cough and a whisper when they appeared together in Dimensions in Time. Given that 6 was the only Doctor that the Brig never actually appeared opposite in the classic series, I'm not sure what the choice behind that was, whether or not they just didn't have a story available, Nicholas Courtney wasn't available, or if Colin was fired before they had the chance to. So yeah, obviously got that one. Next, I'm starting on the second series of Paul McGann's adventures, Invaders from Mars. This is entry number 28, and I noticed that they're repeating the style they did with the first series, where it's a different colour. Like, if I grab another one from the surrounding time period, at least an example, you can see there it's that style of spine. It's that before and it's that after. So this one's obviously reverting back to the original typeface, but now it's blue instead of copper. And I'm not sure how I feel about that. I'll see how I feel when I've got some of the other ones from the second series, because I know this is 28 to 33. I do obviously need to get the Chimes of Midnight, Time of the Daleks, Neverland, and I can't remember the other ones off the top of my head. I can't. Obviously I went for this one because it's the first there, so if I decide I want to start listening to them before I have all of them, the opportunity presents itself and is available for me to do so. So yeah, but I'm probably not going to listen to this one until I've got some of the others. Then obviously breaking the first 50 rule, not considerably, but we have the Axis of Insanity. I have listened to this one. Being honest, I am not the biggest fan. I feel like it's almost a budget version of the Mind Robber, where they could have done so much more with the idea that nothing had to necessarily make sense. They could have gone into science fantasy as opposed to science fiction. Yet they didn't do it too well. There's a specific reason why I bought this one, funnily enough, but I'm not going to say why. I'll get to that reason at a later time, obviously, but again, I wasn't too keen. This is 56, so I think this was the first one post Series 3 of Paul McGann, I believe. I'm not too sure of the numberings past 52, honestly. So yeah, again, didn't really enjoy it. I liked there being more Erin. I do like that character. She's most experience I have is the numerous listens to of the Veiled Leopard, but I like her. But this story just honestly didn't do too well for me. I'll obviously will expand upon in later dates. I'm going to show these next two off together because they are like part the same, but obviously just one at a time. We have City of Spires. This is number 133. Obviously, I got this one for the simple reason, actually, if I show off the next one, which is 135, Legend of the Sidemen. And of course, the main reason I did get these ones is, if you remember my overall CD collection, I have 134, Wreck of the Titan. So now I have all three from, I don't know what I'm going to call this trilogy, but I know it is a trilogy that have Six and Jamie. This one obviously has Zoe as well, which I'm curious to see how she is the opposite Six, all things considered. But yeah, I obviously got this. I don't know if this has a trilogy name or not, but I'm happy to have all three of them. Because like I said, that one was from a charity shop, so good thing I only spent £1 on it, because I did have to spend a small fortune getting these two, which I wasn't. Okay, when I say a small fortune, I do only mean maybe about 16 odd quid, but I think Legend of the Sidemen did cost me 20, which wasn't too fond of. That would have been a lot nicer had I not had to spend that much money. Anyway, finally, after probably about a decade, for all I know, because like I said, my memory is a bit shoddy, finally expanding Gallifrey. So I have 1.2. This is Square One. Obviously, probably going to ask why did I go for 1.2. Probably because when I typed in Gallifrey, this was the cheapest one that came up. I literally just thought, let's just expand Gallifrey, because I did the collection video, and I got like this weird thought for a while, thinking it's a bit weird that I only have 2 entries, being 3.4 and 3.5. So I thought, you know what, let's get some more. Doesn't necessarily matter, like maybe get some random numbers in there. But like I said, this just happened to be the cheapest. I'm not going to listen to it until I've got 1.1, and I think 1.4 is the finale of the first series, so I'll need all those. But yeah, obviously, I've just given it away. I've said I've got 1.4, so that obviously means I do have 1.3. This one is The Inquiry. Nice to see old Linda Bellingham there. I think she's gone now, isn't she? So yeah, like I said, it was just a deliberate choice to get these. I was only going to go for 1.2, but then I decided to spend a little more. And that was part of a bundle listed, funnily enough, like one of those multiple in one posts on eBay. That one came up to about £5. And that was hidden. That wasn't even listed as the lowest. So I saw it and thought, you know what? Because there was like a coupon code that came up and said, save a £5. I thought, if I'm saving a £5, I might as well get something for it, because I was going to spend that much anyway. So yeah, obviously now it's quite cool to have 4 entries in Gallifrey. At the end of the day, I do need to get more. I don't know when it transitions from individuals to complete series box sets, but I'll have to check. I really will. I haven't honestly delved too deep into the lore of Gallifrey. I think, actually, when was the release year of these? 2004. So this was definitely post Zagreus, so we already knew Leader was on Gallifrey with Romana 2, who was president. They did actually tease this. I don't have it on a CD, I only have it via digital, but I have The Making of Zagreus, and I really like that documentary. They do tease, Louise Jameson teased that her and Lala were going to be doing something for Big Finish together, and I felt this. I've not listened to these again, so I can't comment, but I'm hoping the end result is going to be worth it, especially for how long it seems to have run. I think there's at least 6 series, I want to say. I'm not 100% convinced of how many there are. Anyway, why did I slide these out from this to start? Gallifrey, not Gallifrey, sorry, The Time War, Volume 4. These are, obviously, a lot of people probably be wondering why I got this one. There's actually a specific reason, because Terry Malloy, who's Davros, even though they use a bit more of a Julian Beach looking body, that is obviously meant to be Terry Malloy's face, At Norcon, he recommended Palindrome, which, if I actually slip out what ones you do get in this set. So we get Palindrome Part 1, Part 2, Dreadshade, and Restoration of the Daleks. Being completely honest, I've only listened to the first half of this set, which is obviously Palindrome 1 and 2. My God, one of the greatest Big Finish stories I've heard. Honestly, this is an amazing story. I would recommend getting this. You don't need any context. I think there's maybe a bit, but you can just, it's not the most needed, given what it comes off the tail end of. I don't know what it comes the tail end off of. It's just the Daleks being defeated, obviously. So, yeah, this was one of the greatest stories I've ever had the fortune of listening to. I honestly expected this to be in a double pack case, not individual 4 volumes. When I say 4 volumes, individual 4 cases in a set. So yeah, I should probably get volumes 1 through 3, and I think I do need the War Doctor to help establish context a bit more. Obviously, I've only got the War Doctors volume 1 and 2. But yeah, so this was really great. I like how the 8th Doctor's a little more light-hearted here than he is as the Dark Eyes incarnation. I've only listened to one where it's 8 in Dark Eyes, which was Night of the Vashnarada. Obviously, that was a part of what was it called? New Classic Doctors, New Monsters, or New Monsters, Classic Doctors. I can't remember which, and I didn't really think too much of that there. Probably got a bad one there because, like I said, I've not been a big fan of those 2 spin-off subsets. But yeah, this gone blurry again, haven't we? There we are. This one, honestly, I would recommend getting it just for Palindrome alone. Yeah, clearly this breaks like the first 50, but I didn't pay a penny for this. I got it off Amazon using a load of gift cards, so I didn't pay anything. And I'm happy to have got it because genuinely it is a fantastic little story. I cannot recommend this one enough. If you're going to take anything away, I would recommend. Next month, I honestly don't know what I'm going to get. Like, I already have some stuff that I know I'm going to be showing off, but I do, if anything, want to get the Chimes of Midnight. That's a first because I want to be able to get more of the 8th Doctor second series. I might be able to start binging those a little because when I get spare time, which is usually my weekends, I binge a lot of these, and I am currently working on a script, like a proper, like not one of these collection videos. It is taking a lot longer than I thought, and I do apologise for that most profusely. I would like to be able to have that out a lot sooner than what it's eventually going to be, because it is taking a lot of time. I thought it might be. I don't know how long it's going to be. I don't know how long it's going to take, but I will get it out. I promise you guys. I feel I owe that to you with the relative success that I'm having so far. I cannot thank you guys enough. I really cannot. So, thank you very much, guys, and I will see you in the next video.